Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's been a few months. I've been so insanely busy, and so I just wanted to jump on here and just give you like an overview of everything that has happened for the last few months. This was my first semester of my nursing prerequisites, and technically not the first, but the prerequisites in Colorado are not the same as Indiana, so I had to start over. I am currently finishing up a general biology class, my human growth and development class, English composition, and math for clinical calc. So let me just tell you how the semester has been and how those classes were for me. Obviously, it's different for everyone. It's different depending on if you are online, if you're in person, depending on the professor that you have. Like everything varies for everyone. So, this was just my experience at my school online with the professors that I have. My English class started off really rough because I feel like I could not like really understand like what my professor was like looking for. So he was telling us that we should use the tutoring, and that like these are the things that he wanted. And so I went to tutoring. They were like, this is great. I went through the list of stuff that he wanted. That was great. And then it would just like revert and be like, okay, like these are all the things that are wrong. But like I just felt like I couldn't like do what he was asking, if that makes sense. But my third essay, which was actually more like a research paper in a sense, it was a problem solution essay, and it was 9 pages, and it was about like my career goals to become a nurse anesthetist and basically like the strategy behind it, all of the problems that can be faced during that journey, and basically like the solutions for them. So that was actually like my highest scoring paper, crazy enough. Um, but the first two were just like writing about things that we like or whatever. It was just like personal with no sources or anything. So it was just like really confusing to me because it was about like me just writing, you know what I mean? I don't know. But my last paper is due tomorrow, and it's a paper about like what kindness means to me. So obviously, I can revert that into like the healthcare field or whatever. And honestly, that just makes it so much easier for me to write. But anyway, that class, I still have an A, which is great because that is one of the classes that goes on my nursing application for the 4 prerequisites. So, that was good. And then my math for clinical calc, I currently have a 98%. I just did a presentation for the math board, like at my school, about IV solutions and titrations and how that is important to like critical care. And like all of the math that goes behind it. So that was really cool. I got like 50 bonus points for that I'll get at the end. And then I also get a 10% bump on my final exam. I've never gotten less than a 97% on an exam. And so like I know that I'll get 100 on that. And so I'm really hoping that I will finish this semester with 100% because that would be really cool. It was the most fun class for me. I really enjoyed it. I'm thinking about doing some videos on just like dosage calc because I always see people struggling with that, and I just like absolutely love to do it. So, actually, during my presentation, I had a girl ask me if I could tutor her because she was really struggling. So that made me feel really good, and it kind of helps me to practice by doing problems with her and like doing it all out. So, really cool. That was super exciting. My human growth and development, I have an A in that class. It was super easy, very laid back. I felt like that class required the least amount of work compared to all of the rest of them. So, I had a really good professor. I feel like she was just like really helpful and just not like crazy over the top or anything. So, that was nice. And then that leaves me with biology. So, obviously, science is such a huge part of nursing, and generally, I really love science. But this biology class was not a good time for me. And it's crazy because my professor was rated like the best one at the school. I'm thinking that's geared more towards in person. And it's not that she wasn't good at teaching because her lectures are very detailed. Like I feel like she really knows like what she's talking about. However, like when we get our reviews for our exams, I'm going through these reviews and I'm like studying them, and she has said like that is the best like study tool for the final, for like any of the exams. And I have just like bombed every exam ever. And I have two friends on that class and they are in the same boat. And so it's just really crazy to me that we're like all experiencing the same thing, but we have hundreds on all of our assignments, all of our labs. Like it's just been really hard and frustrating. So, yeah, that's been my experience. Obviously, the bio class does not go on the nursing app, but you need to pass it with a C or above to be able to take the two prereqs that are required for nursing. So I will finish with a C. Um, I have already like planned out all of my scores on like what will happen if I get 50s on like all my tests or whatever. So like I have a game plan. I've been studying really hard for my final. And I feel like the final will go a little bit better than the other tests because we can study like the previous exams. So I'm hoping that goes well. But honestly, like my goal right now is just to be able to score like at least 50s on my tests, which is so awful. I have 150, the rest are above. I think the highest exam that I have though is like 70. So that's pretty depressing. I don't really enjoy that. I'm such a I don't even know like the word. I feel like I'm really smart. I've always like really excelled in math and science. So it's been such a struggle for me to not do well in this class. Next semester, I have microbiology and A&P. So I'm taking those at the same time. Wish me luck. And I also registered for intro to stats and then a women's history class. So I think I mentioned before that I'm planning on doing dual enrollment for my BSN at the same time as my ADN. So it's just like an extra semester and then just taking more classes during that time. And stats is a prereq for that, or not a prereq, it's just part of like the coursework. And then the history class. So I'm trying to kind of like do those classes as much as I can. And then I'm not taking any summers off. So I'll be doing stuff this summer as well. But if anyone has like really good study tips, I would love to hear them. I just started doing studying like with my whiteboard. I downloaded the Anki app for like flashcards. It's really cool that you can like take pictures of your whiteboard and just be able to block stuff off. And then that becomes like your flashcard. It's just like filling in the blanks. So it helps me double because I'm like writing everything out and then I'm also being able to use it in like flashcards. So I really like that. That's really cool. I just stumbled across that. So I'm hoping that that helps. I think that next semester, like with having stats and then like a history class, like those will be so low key for me that I'll just be able to put like all of my focus into my two science classes. That's going to be exciting. I'm also getting married in April. And so it's like in the middle of the semester, which is going to be also exciting. I am going to Nashville for my bachelorette trip in February. And so I've already told my friends that like we're going to have a day in to just spa and relax and to make sure that like I can work on homework because, there's just no room for getting behind. That's what's been going on. That is what is coming up. And then something super exciting. I actually got a job at a hospital here, and I'm working as a PCA. So it's a CNA, but inpatient. They call them like patient care assistants or patient care techs, usually like in the hospital. So I'm really excited because this is like the last little piece of like experience that I needed and also to kind of like get me prepped for clinicals and stuff like that. So I worked in long-term care for a while and then like got that bit of experience. I transitioned into a medical assistant job and then I was able to work in so many different specialties like while I was doing that. So primarily like I worked in GI, and I would sometimes work in pulmonary, float to cardiology, and then I transferred to oncology. It was just like a lot of like really good experience. And medical assistants and CNAs are so different. Like it is just a completely different ballgame. There's not one that's harder than the other. I will say that like as a CNA, it's more like physical labor, just as far as like, cleaning up the patients and just being able to like transport them and move them around. It's just like a lot more on your body. Whereas like a medical assistant is, it's outpatient, where CNAs are inpatient generally. As a medical assistant, we're doing a lot of like the paperwork. So we're doing prior authorizations, we're putting in the orders like for the doctors, we're ordering the scripts for them to sign off on, we're doing the triaging, we're doing injections like in the clinic, maybe we're taking out like sutures, things like that. And then, doing vitals and scheduling. And it's just like this all-in-one thing. So I feel like between like the jobs, like it's been very like well-rounded for me to be able to like learn all these different skills. Like being a CNA, like at the hospital, we're doing sugars every so many hours. We're like mobilizing the patients, we're cleaning them up, we're doing vitals, just like whatever the nurse needs you to do. And I actually got hired in the float pool, which is really cool. So I get to just work on whatever unit that they need me to work on, which is exciting, just to be able to get that experience. And I thought it would be so good for like networking, to be able to just like meet different people and check out the units, like see what the nurses do, ask them questions. And that's just really exciting to me. It helps me kind of like get to know the hospital. So that's a perk. Another perk is that if you work in the float pool, you make more money. I'm also working PRN, so that's more money. Like I am in like a really good position. You are like employed by the hospital, you already have your foot in the door. So like I'm already guaranteed a nursing job somewhere in the hospital once I graduate, which is really cool. But I'm hoping that just working there as a PCA throughout the nursing program and just getting my foot into all these different units, that it will kind of help me get to like where I want to be. So I mentioned earlier, I wrote a paper about the strategies of becoming a nurse anesthetist, and that's really what I want to do. So just recently in the last year, they've upgraded the standards to where you have to have your doctorate to be a CRNA. And so I think right now you can still work with a master's. However, like the programs in 2022 started doing doctorate programs only, because I think the full transition is by 2025. I'll graduate with my BSN in December of 2026. That's the goal right now, right? So that's kind of where things are at. So I've been kind of just like researching like that route, because you can't plan like too far ahead. It's just like not a thing. So I really am just like focused on like what I need to like get into that position. So working at the hospital, it'll be a lot easier for me to be able to shadow and to hopefully get my foot in the door of doing like critical care, working in the ICU. So I'm really excited for that. That's just like been the highlight of like my whole semester so far. And I've met a lot of really great people already. And it's really exciting because a lot of the PCAs are in nursing school. And so they've had a really positive experience. And so it's really nice to know that they're just very like helpful and just encouraging of your education, because there are some places that just don't want you to do that. I don't know. It's really petty. Those are like toxic work environments, and we don't like that. That's like where things are right now. It is currently November 29th. So we are getting into Christmas season, and yeah, school's about to be out. So I'm just going to be working a lot and hopefully have time to do some vlogs and just kind of, get prepped. But I have learned a lot this semester, and it was just like a lot with like moving to Colorado, like starting school, the kids going to school, like we all have like new jobs, like new place. And so just like getting into like a routine was kind of hard. But I feel like now we kind of have it like set. So I think that I'll be able to like plan my videos like into my workload a little bit easier, and just, become more updated there. So, yeah, that is where we're at right now. In other news, like not related to work and nursing, I just got this couch a couple of days ago and I'm so obsessed with it. It is literally like the softest couch I've ever felt in my life. And you can just like see like how soft it is. Yeah, it's crazy. So it's a modular sectional, and I bought it on Wayfair for such a good price, but I'm like ultra obsessed. So I'm about to just show you it. First of all, we have Christmas things up, and I love it, but this couch is huge, and those are all the boxes. We have to get rid of the coffee table still. And yeah, we have our garlands up on the staircase and we love it. But yeah, this couch is huge. So I like it because you can like take it apart and like push the ottoman in. So like I could take that end piece and I could move it like over here. And then the couch would just be like a giant like square bed, which is kind of amazing. But we're getting rid of this coffee table, we're getting rid of that table, and then we're buying a 12-foot tree to go where that coffee table is. So it will go way up, just past like that top banister. So I'm super excited. I've been dreaming of that. Whenever we found this house, it was the ceilings for me because I wanted to be able to have that Christmas tree. So super stoked about that. Yeah, this couch is a freaking dream. Like I literally just like never want to get off of it. That's what's going on. It's been super crazy, but everything's really good and I am just really excited to like see where things go. So, we'll try to do more like vlogs. I have like 6 subscribers. Woo! So, I know they're probably just like dying to see like what's going on in my life, I'm sure. So, yeah, I will keep you guys updated and that's where we're at. So thanks for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I will get more content out for you guys. Bye.